Today's video will be a quick video looking over some things in the PvE that might or might not be happening in patch 8.14. Some of the major ones that automatically stick out are changes to Lissandra's passive, some possible buff for mages, and some discussion about Katarina. So first and foremost, Garen actually. The whole contest right now between Darius and Garen, the versus event. People asking about Meddler if Garen maybe could possibly get some buffs, or at least the bug fix when you press the Q, and sometimes it takes so long to last hit a minion that he constantly tries to Q whatever minion you click on afterwards, or something like that. I don't actually know how Garen was ever supposed to win this event. It's a nice skin, but I think Darius as a kit and as a champion probably was always going to win that event too. But I guess that's also just on there for the Garen mains who might be a little bit more disappointed about the versus event and feel like it might be because their champion's in a little bit of a rough spot. When it comes to Lissandra, we mentioned earlier there's a new passive that's a bit in the testing called Iceborne. When a champion Lissandra has damage within the last 3 seconds suddenly dies, they become a frozen statue. Frozen statues slow enemies by 30%, but after 2.5 seconds, frozen statues shatter, dealing X plus Y AP ratio magic damage to nearby enemies, which would be kind of interesting. And on champions like Sion and stuff, they will die when they finally die. That's when they will become a frozen statue instead of while they're a zombie, so there is that too. When it comes to some mages in general though, Lissandra obviously is on the board, but they actually did mention there are some karma changes that are on the PvE, possibly for 8.14, on all of her abilities, actually, except for her W. When it comes to other mages though, however, Ahri's been mentioned, Syndra, who's kind of like a hot topic sometimes because of the bugs that they have, are also mentioned, but they're not giving any specifics yet. And on top of that, Victor as well as one of the mages that are possibly getting some 8.14 love, because mages are kind of maybe a little bit in a rough spot. If you want to talk about the 80 carry role and bruisers moving down there, and pro play specifically at least, there's been a lot of bruisers and stuff moving there too, so it makes people wonder, are mages actually kind of in a rough spot too? And we'll get that answer when we see some of these buffs coming in for the next patch. When it comes to Katarina, Meddler specifically has a quote saying, "I think she comes up occasionally, but it seems like assessment is mixed and she's somewhat volatile. It's just generally hard to get changes through for assassins that seem stable and playable." And kind of for those who don't know, obviously with the Rengar changes and then revert, LeBlanc getting a bit of a revert, there have been some Katarina mains and players saying maybe Katarina kind of needs a revert, like they want the E to be more instantaneous. I will weigh on that a little bit because in August Browning stream, for example, some Katarina mains have started coming into there and asking questions. And I will say this, I'm not saying don't ask for changes on your champion. I am saying when you do ask for changes on your champion, you gotta look at what the effect of that change would be, right? Rengar, when they got their changes, one of the things they still wanted was instead of camouflage, true invisibility on the ultimate. Well, that's gonna get the champion absolutely banned. You have a leap long, like a range jump from stealth that can possibly one-shot somebody. If that was true invisible, that champion would be very frustrating. It'd be very hard to balance too, because they'd be probably banned more than they should be by players who just don't want to deal with that. And as such, Rengar players might also not get to play their champion because their champion's on the bench a bit more. So when you're going to ask for questions like on Katarina, can you make the E a instantaneous cast? Again, it's not necessarily, an elo or a skill thing, it's just do you really want to have to deal with a champion that can do something like that? That get banned, you either have to nerf that later on, and the Katarina players don't get to play Katarina. It's not that you can't ask for changes for Katarina if you feel like she's in a rougher spot suddenly. I'm just saying when you, about any champion, go to ask somebody about changes, try to think about the consequences of those changes too. If your champion feels super bad because the changes aren't happening, maybe try and construct your argument in a way that seems like, I don't know, there's some room to be able to do more with it than just, hey, I just want to be able to instantly jump on somebody and possibly nuke them, kind of a thing. Obviously, Assassins, one of the more frustrating classes as a whole maybe to play against because of their kill potential and their mobility, but that doesn't mean they can't have some fun doing it, of course, right? Like after all, Rengar did get the reverts, LeBlanc did get the reverts. I'm not saying Katarina can't get nothing. I'm just saying kind of think about what you're asking for and think about, the long-term consequences of, hey, this would be cool, but my champion might have to get nerfed later because of it. Do we really want that? Or do we want something else? So that's all I'm going to say on that. I will say these are all changes that might not obviously go live, and the PvE has been delayed a week. This patch is 3 weeks long, so the PvE won't be hitting this week, it'll actually be hitting next week, and as such we'll see what changes are still there, and then we'll hit live 2 weeks following that. That's all for this video. So, thank you so much for watching this video if you did. In the comment section down below, feel free to discuss any of these changes, any changes you hope come in 8.14, any, ones like we didn't even mention, for example. If you're a mage player and the mage you play wasn't on here, maybe the mage you want to see on here. Whatever the case is, put that in the comment section down below, let's have a discussion about it. But, feel free to like, comment, and subscribe, and that is all for this video. So, I don't know which video will be next, because life can have a lot of kinks. So until next time, take care, GG, get jinxed. Thank you for watching. Enjoy pizza responsibly.